Every solo builder I watch opens Claude Code, types a vague prompt into an empty folder, and starts vibe coding. That's exactly why their project dies at week 2. If you've ever rage quit a Claude session because it forgot your stack, reinvented your folder structure, or leaked a secret into Git, this is the fix. I'm going to show you the 5 files I drop into every new repo before Claude writes a single line of code. Most tutorials skip the boring middle and jump straight to features. I run 3 live products solo from one machine using this exact scaffold. Empty folder to first working endpoint in roughly 12 minutes. Let's open a blank folder and build it together. Here's the problem nobody warns you about. Claude Code is incredible at writing code, but it's amnesiac by design. Every session starts cold. So if your repo has no constitution, no architecture doc, no task list, and no command shortcuts, Claude will happily invent a new pattern every time you ask for a feature. By session 3, you got 4 different ways to handle errors, 2 different folder conventions, and a .end file that somehow ended up in your last commit. The token bill goes up, the bugs multiply, and you blame the tool. The tool isn't the problem. The empty folder is the problem. Most tutorials skip this. They open Claude Code, type build me a SaaS, and edit out the next 6 hours of cleanup. I'm going to do the opposite. Before I write a single product feature, I drop 5 specific files into the repo. That's it. 5 files, about 12 minutes of setup, and from that point, Claude behaves like a senior engineer who already read your brief. I use this scaffold on every client project we ship at the agency, and it's the reason a solo operator can credibly run 3 live products from one WSL Ubuntu box without things catching fire. Let's go file by file. File 1 is CLAUDE.md. This is the project's constitution. It lives at the root of the repo, and Claude Code reads it automatically at the start of every session. Inside it, I put 4 things: the stack, exact versions of the language, framework, database, and runtime. The conventions, how we name files, how we handle errors, how we structure routes, whether we use classes or functions. All the small decisions that otherwise get relitigated every prompt. The do not touch list. Files or folders Claude should never modify without explicit permission, like migrations, billing logic, or auth. And finally, the project goal in 2 sentences. So when Claude is mid-feature and tempted to over-engineer, it has a North Star. CLAUDE.md is the single highest ROI file in the whole scaffold. If you only adopt one thing from this video, adopt this. File 2 lives in a folder called .claude.code/commands. These are slash commands, reusable prompts you can invoke inside Claude Code with a slash. I keep 3 in every project. /spec takes a 1-line feature description and turns it into a full implementation plan. Files to touch, edge cases, tests, rollback path. I never let Claude code a feature without running spec first. /ship runs the pre-commit checklist, linter, tests, type check, secret scan, and a diff summary. /debug takes an error message or a failing test and walks Claude through a structured root cause analysis instead of guessing. 3 commands. You write them once, you reuse them across every project for the rest of your career. The compound effect is enormous. File 3 is ARCHITECTURE.md. This is the boring diagram nobody wants to write. Mine is plain text, no fancy tools. It lists the major modules, what each one is responsible for, and how data flows between them. The reason this matters is that without it, Claude invents new patterns mid-feature. You ask for a new endpoint, and suddenly there's a new service layer that doesn't exist anywhere else in the codebase. With ARCHITECTURE.md, Claude reads the existing pattern and extends it instead of replacing it. 10 lines of prose save you 10 hours of refactoring. File 4 is the secrets discipline, and this is the one I learned the hard way. I lost 4 hours once to a leaked API key that ended up in a commit because I let Claude generate a .env file with real values in it. Never again. The rule is simple. There's an env.example at the root with every variable name and a placeholder value, committed to the repo. The real end is in git ignore from minute 1, before Claude touches anything. And in CLAUDE.md, I explicitly write, never read or write the .env file, only reference variable names from .env.example. That one line has saved me from secret leaks on every project since. File 5 is TASKS.md. This replaces the constant. Remember what we talked about earlier, dance. TASKS.md is a running spec. What's done? What's in progress? What's next? And any open decisions. At the start of every Claude session, I tell it to read tasks.md, work on the top in progress item, and update the file when done. This single habit is the difference between a project that compounds and a project that resets every Monday. It also means when I come back after a weekend, I don't need to remember anything. The repo remembers for me. Now let me show you what this looks like in practice. Empty folder. I create the 5 files. CLAUDE.md with the stack and conventions. .claude commands with my 3/ commands. ARCHITECTURE.md with the module map. .md example and git in your. And tasks.md with the first feature listed. That takes about 7 minutes because most of it is copy-paste from my template. Then I open Claude Code, point it at the folder, and type read CLAUDE ARCHITECTURE.md ARCHITECTURE.md and tasks.md. Then run /spec on the first task. Claude comes back with a plan that already respects my stack, my conventions, and my architecture. I approve. It codes, /ship runs the checks, commit. First working endpoint live in roughly 12 minutes from empty folder. No cleanup, no leaked secrets, no invented patterns. The reason this works is that you've moved the thinking from inside the session to before the session. Claude is brilliant when it has context and chaotic when it doesn't. 5 files give it the context. Everything after that is just shipping. If you take nothing else from this video, take this. The empty folder is your enemy. Scaffold first, code second. The 5 file setup costs you 12 minutes once and saves you hours every single week after. If you want the actual templates, CLAUDE, the 3/ commands, ARCHITECTURE.md, the secret setup, and tasks.md, the plus real examples of automation and custom software we ship for clients. Head to BizflowAI.io. Hit subscribe and ring the bell so the next breakdown lands in your feed. And if you've got a workflow you want automated end-to-end, book a free 30-minute discovery call at BizflowAI.io and we'll map out what's actually buildable.